All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Garage Gym Athlete Podcast. Jerred here with Joe Courtney. What's up, Joe?
What's up? I'm in the virtual space.
I like that background. It looks great. If you're only listening right now, you're missing out. Joe has got it going on in the backdrop. All right, so we're doing Garage Gym Athlete problems, which people seem to like. You know, we're getting some traction on YouTube, so we're going to keep at it. We still have a lot of problems to work through. We've been emailed a lot. I have a huge list right here. And, to be honest, the more I go through the list, a lot of them kind of repeat in different ways, or should I say they rhyme. They're like symptoms of the same issue. And we're kind of going to cover something like that today. So the first, the one that we're covering today, friendly neighbors who stroll over and block one and don't seem to get the message when we keep training. So really the problem is a true garage gym athlete fashion. You're working out outside or, with a garage door open, and maybe your neighbors are your friends, or maybe you just have a curious neighbor or something. And so they come over and they talk to you. What do you do? How do you get them? I think the question is, how do I get someone to stop talking to me? Like that's the problem. So the problem is, what do you do with neighbors who are trying to talk to you while you're training, or anybody for that matter? Joe, what do you have on this, man? How do you get someone to leave you alone?
So I have not had to deal with this yet, but I might have to soon, since I'll finally have a garage gym, although we're not going to have anybody behind us. But it's just kind of like when you are working out in like the main gyms, the bigger Globo type gyms, because you always have those guys that'll come over and start talking to you. You just have to put on that, I don't know, that the air of I don't want to be talked to. No. I guess if it's a constant problem, you might need to like switch to headphones. Most people that work out in the garage are going to have like some sort of speaker going, because you're not going to wear headphones because you don't need to. But if this is like oh man, I see my neighbor outside in the yard, I know he's going to come talk to me. Maybe I should put on headphones today so he can either get the gist, or I can like ignore him in more of a nice way. Is the kind of a thing. The other one would be like, if you have a wearable, just like keep checking your watch if they're talking to you, and then like start walking away or something. But I couldn't really think of too much, or like keep your music loud so you can't really talk over you. Depends on what they want to ask. Like, so hopefully they're not someone that's just like, what are you doing? Just like super broad in general, like
making pancakes. What are you doing?
Yeah. Like, oh, just rearranging my garage in the most inefficient and exhausting
fastest way possible.
Yeah. But if they just like have workout questions, they might just have to like nicely say, hey, I'm in the middle of a circuit or this after my sets. If you still want to chat, maybe we can. That would be like the nice way. But I more so said the passive aggressive ways.
Yeah. Well, I haven't had to deal with it a lot. I mean, I've lived a lot of different places. Sometimes I have, sometimes I haven't. When I lived in Florida, that was a very like small community, and like definitely a lot of people would stop by or whatever. And I've had another house in Texas where the garage was basically in my backyard, which was nice because I could still be in a fenced in space. But like keep the garage closed. If it's a serious problem, like
you can control that.
Yeah, just don't open the garage door. To be honest, I still kind of do that sometimes. Right now is like my new neighbor where I live, he doesn't mind talking to you under any circumstance. Like I could be like on an Airdyne hitting a set, and he will come kind of like what you're talking about, Joe. Be like, so what's going on? And be like, dude, come on. So a couple things here. The real way I got him to stop talking to me during training sessions is I built an office in my backyard, kind of close to his property line. And I think it made him so angry that he doesn't want to speak to me anymore. So if you want to just try and make a neighbor mad by starting construction in your backyard, which I think he's over it now. He was like worried about drainage and all this other stuff, but we took care of all that. So anyway, that's the funny part of it. But other things that I've actually done, you can like kind of stop talking to people. Might feel a little awkward to you, but you can stop talking. Like you can just kind of stare at someone. And if you don't mind being really awkward, you could just stare at them. You could preface their arrival with what you're doing. Be like, "Oh, hey Jim, I got about, a minute and a half before I hit my next set. What's going on?" And then they're like, "Oh, well, the mailman's late again." You're like, "That's awesome. Okay, so I have a minute now before I'm going to start my next set." So if you just kind of preface that, I've actually done that before because that happened to me more in Florida. Because I hate when I'm supposed to be doing like work to rest ratios. If I'm doing strength training, it's different. I might take a 5 to 10 minute break to talk to a neighbor. If I was just doing strength, then I could pick it back up and I had the time. But if I'm like if there's 10 intervals and there's like, they came in to talk to me on interval 4 and I have so much rest, I'm going to be a little like, no, like you're going to ruin the whole flow of what I'm doing. And so I'll just let them know straight up. So other than keeping the garage door closed, headphones, and letting them know, I don't think there's much else you can do, because you also don't want to be like a dick, right? It's your neighbor. And if you're going to live there for a while, you don't want to have a bad relationship with your neighbor. So that's the best advice I got for that one. Got anything else?
Yeah. So what you do in response is next time they're mowing their lawn, just go and stand right in front of their path that they're about to mow and just ask them about their day right in the middle.
Yeah. Or ask them what they're doing.
Yeah. Hey, what are we doing, man? Let's chat about the weather right now.
What kind of lawnmower is that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's about it. I don't think there's much else you can do other than keeping that garage closed. To be honest, that's my best tactic right now, because my neighbor has kind of gotten over the construction part of what we had going on. But if I see like he's out and about and it's like a Saturday and he's doing like yard work next to my side of the house or whatever, I might, even if it's hot, I would like crack my garage like halfway. So it's like, maybe I can get some airflow, but if he peeks his head under there, that's a different issue. You got a weird neighbor. If they're like,
yeah,
howdy ho, just like, no, I only left that open 12 inches. Don't stick your head underneath my garage.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Crawling under.
Yeah.
I would really be interested to hear what other people's neighbor stories are. So like YouTube, throw us in the comments, because I'm really interested to see some. I'm sure there's some really good either nosy neighbor stories or something out there.
Yeah, or just invite them to do what you're doing, especially if they're not into fitness, and you'll intimidate them to where they're not going to keep coming over, because you just keep asking. Like, hey, you want to get in on this set? And they'll either say yes, which would be cool. Maybe you got a training partner now, or they'll be like, oh, no, I'm fine. And then you keep asking them every time they come over. So yeah, if you got a neighbor story, definitely let us know. Or any other problem for that matter. So we have had, I appreciate it. I think a bunch of people, I think we've probably gotten at least 20 more emails with problems on top of our original amount that people have submitted. And so we're getting through all of them. Like I said, kind of categorizing them. Some of them do kind of rhyme with one another. They're similar, but we'll get into them all, answer everything that we can just from our experience and things that we've heard from the community. But keep submitting them. You can go to garagegymathlete.com and just submit it to the support channel, and we keep it on file there where we can hit it up. But that's it. If you're on YouTube, go ahead, thumbs up, like the video, leave us a comment, subscribe to the channel. And then if you are listening to the podcast version, we would love for you to rate and review, 5-star review, positive comments, something like that. It really helps. And subscribe if you're not already. But thank you for watching or listening to the Garage Gym Athlete podcast. If you want to learn more, go to garagegymathlete.com. You can learn about our training. Let us send you a copy of our book, The Garage Gym Athlete, or you can even get featured on the Garage Gym Athlete podcast. Thanks for listening.